Today we will be filling you in on the latest news, such as homecoming and what dresses are appropriate, the new iPhone 5, sports, senior sunrise, and so much more, so stay tuned. Hey Dio.
And welcome to your official Del Oro News channel.
I'm Jay Shane.
And I'm Jessica Bremer.
Who's excited for homecoming?
I definitely am. The homecoming theme was revealed last week, which was around the world.
Freshman class will be representing South America, sophomores Asia, juniors are Africa, and seniors are Europe.
Royalty nominations for this year's homecoming king and queen start September 14th, so don't forget to vote. Bids for homecoming start September 26th.
Hi girls, homecoming is just around the corner, and today we put together a couple examples of dresses that are appropriate and dresses that aren't appropriate to wear to the dance. This year, tight, short spandex dresses are not going to be allowed into the dance, even if you wear spandex shorts underneath. So when you guys buy your homecoming dresses, please choose dresses that are longer and looser because they're more appropriate and easier to dance in than dresses that are short and tight because they ride up while dancing and it's inappropriate. So when buying your guys' homecoming dress, please choose wisely, and remember that modest is hottest.
Speaking of the dress code for homecoming, the dress-up days are Monday, which is medieval and fairy tale.
Tuesday is Day.
No, it's ER day, like plumber, Power Ranger, or firefighter. Wednesday is from the big city to the jungle.
Thursday is your class color.
And Friday, of course, is black and gold.
Don't forget about the exciting homecoming parade on October 5th at 3 o'clock when you see your homecoming royalty on the amazing floats that your class built.
Get ready to call your date with your new iPhone 5. You can now pre-order the new iPhone, which officially comes out on September 21st through the 30th.
Use your new phone to text all your friends and tell them to come out to this week's games. Now on to sports. Lady Eagles. Coach Maven says come to girls' wrestling practices on Tuesday and Thursday mornings from 6 to 7. It's early, but it's worth it.
Games of this week included water polo on Tuesday playing Roseville. The varsity girls pulled through with a score of 17-9, and the varsity boys won with a score of 13-9.
Also, girls golf won Tuesday with a score of 246 to 293.
Girls tennis also had a good day against Oak Ridge, winning 6-3.
Then the varsity boys soccer team played Del Campo on Tuesday, and their score was 4-0. Nice job, boys.
Amazing job this week, Golden Eagles.
Today we have the freshman football team playing Oak Ridge at Oak Ridge, so support your school and go cheer them on.
And also, another water polo game this Thursday against Granite Bay here at Del Oro. Make sure you come out and support your team.
If you're like me and don't like how your picture turned out,
or are regretting that funny face your friends dared you to do,
don't worry, Picture Day makeups are on September 20th. Seniors, don't forget about the senior sunrise coming up tomorrow morning at 6:15 on the football field. See you there.
News from outside of Del Oro. The annual Hot Chili and Cool Cars Street Fair is on September 15th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's free, so come check it out. Now, on a more serious note, most of you know that this past Tuesday was the 11-year anniversary of 9/11.
Take a look as we remember this day with a short video.
On September 11th, I was in high school at the time.
I was driving to Del Oro.
I was at home when my grandma called and told me to turn on the news. And I turned it on while I was waiting for my carpool to school, because I believe I was in kindergarten at the time. And I remember watching it on the news and the events unfold.
I remember very clearly, I was driving to school and I rode a motorcycle at the time, so I was parking my motorcycle in the bike rack at the school. I don't know why I remember that very vividly. And I was coming out of the rack and my history teacher ran into me at the time. He said, "Ben, have you heard the news?" Or something like that.
I believe it was around 6:15, maybe 6:30 in the morning, and I got a news flash that a plane had hit one of the Twin Towers. And at the time, the news had assumed it was a small aircraft, probably nothing significant.
I said, "No, what's going on?" He said, "Some guys stole some planes and crashed them into some buildings in New York." And I thought he was joking because he's kind of an odd character, right? And when it finally set in that he wasn't joking, it was kind of a surreal moment. So I remember walking to my class and everyone kind of knew the news already from the morning news or whatever. And I knew nothing about it. So I just it didn't really hit me until we got into class and they were showing it on the news.
Well, I remember going to school. We watched lots of videos that day. Well, I guess at the time it would have been lots of news reports from NBC and all that, and talked a lot about it a lot.
I think 9/11. I remember it for a lot of reasons. One, that day was probably the most traumatic day in my professional life, for sure, and certainly the nation's life.
I'll remember 9/11 most by just the images, watching the news of watching the planes crashing the buildings that day and the following days, and seeing the images of people falling out of the towers and stuff like that. I'll never forget that. That's my biggest memory of 9/11 is that image and knowing that that just happened.
It really changed the mood of, today's date. I mean, every year it's much more somber. It was a traumatic event. It really changed, a lot of things. Boosted our country's patriotism and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Well, for me personally, a side note to September 11th was that I had taken another job as a manager for a medical sales company that my friend owned. And I told the principal at the time, Mr. Christensen, that I would be leaving in October. So they were looking for another social science teacher because I was teaching history. And when September 11th occurred, the company decided not to expand and told me to hold off on that job for a year. And I decided to do that. And when the job reopened the following year, it just didn't make sense for me anymore. It felt like education was more important than taking a sales job or a manager's job. And I probably wouldn't be a teacher still today if September 11th hadn't occurred. But it really, it was such a profound incident in my life that I realized teaching was more important than doing anything else.
Thanks for watching Your Del Oro News. I'm Jay Shane.
And I'm Jessica Bremer.
And you stay Golden Eagles.
Hasta la vista.
I feel like this